Hey guys, happy Friday. We are live to talk about 5 lower body movements that you can add to your workout. So this is for, they're good to add anytime, but right now while we're outside of the gym and you may not have a squat rack or a barbell that you can squat, and so just some different things that you can add to help you build a better booty, we'll say, while you can't necessarily squat heavy or squat a barbell. So I've got 5 different movements for us to go over, some different things, some different ways to do them and stuff like that. So first off, the movements are the heels elevated goblet squat, Romanian deadlift, split squat, Cossack squat, and then a hip thrust. So I'm going to set you guys up, and I'm just going to walk you through each of those. So we'll start with the heels elevated goblet squat. So you can do this 2 different ways. You can have like change plates or 2 15-pound plates where you're in a wider stance, and people often do that when they're newer to CrossFit or have limited ankle or hip mobility, because it kind of acts as a lifter and putting you up there so you can stay in an upright position. This version is a little more advanced. You're in a narrower stance. It's going to target the quads more, and you can go up a little bit higher than this if you want to, but you're going to get that weight in the goblet position. Your feet are narrow there, and then you're just sitting down into that squat and standing right back up. So it's targeting the quads more. So that is the heels elevated goblet squat. On something like that, you and all of these movements, you would do like higher reps, so sets of 10 or 12, something like that, like maybe 3 sets of 12, because you're using a lighter weight. That's not to say you can't do it with a heavier weight or you can't do it with a barbell, but this is more focused on people right now that don't have a barbell, that maybe only have a dumbbell or an odd object that you can hold right there, whether it's your dog or a chair or whatever it is, something that you can hold right in front of you. Same thing here on a typical squat. We're trying to keep that chest up, and so elevating those heels allows you to get into a better position if you have poor ankle mobility, but also that narrower stance here is putting more emphasis right there on the quads. So that's the heels elevated goblet squat. The next thing we're going to show you is the Romanian deadlift. So this can be done, I like to do these single leg right now while I don't have any weight or a barbell or something like heavy, because I can do this with a 20-pound dumbbell or an odd object around my house and get a really good workout out of it. So I'll show you the single leg variation, 2 different ways you can do single leg, and then I'll also show you the double leg Romanian deadlift. So on a Romanian deadlift, it's similar to a traditional deadlift, but your knees are slightly bent and you're not going all the way to the ground. You're just bending over to about just below your knee. So the traditional Romanian deadlift, you would just go straight down and right back up. And then if you were to do this single leg, you can hold this weight in one hand, and you can do it with 2 dumbbells or 2 kettlebells, whatever you have. If you wanted to, you can even do it with a barbell, but you can send that leg straight back and then come right back up. Or you can also just kind of stagger that stance, put that other foot on the ground, put that toe on the ground. And that's good if you have trouble balancing when you send that leg back, and then just go straight down and right back up here. So that's the Romanian deadlift, targeting the hamstrings. The next thing we've got is a split squat. So a split squat is similar to a lunge, but it's a squat. You're not ever pulling your leg back to each other. So I'm going to show you without weight, but you can do this with weight. So you're going to get in a split stance here, and you're sitting back. So you're going to sit back, touch that knee to the ground, and really I need to be in a little bit of a wider stance. You're sitting back and touching that knee to the ground, and you would either hold weight here, you can hold weight beside you, but gently tapping that knee to the ground and standing right back up. And all of these movements you can do sets of like 10, 12, 3 sets, something like that. before or after your workout, if you see that we've got squats, back squats or front squats for the day, this would be something good that you can add in with whatever weight you have at home or no weight. These are pretty difficult if balance is an issue. So that's the split squat. Another way you can do the split squat is go in front foot elevated. So you can go higher than this, or you can stick with something lower, but sending that knee down, go right back up, keeping that weight there in that heel so you're not sending your weight up onto your toe. Another way you can do those, this is more advanced and balance is going to be an issue here if you struggle with that, but doing a rear foot elevated split squat, so that toe is up on that bench and then you're sitting back down there and standing right back up. The next one I'm going to show you is a Cossack squat. So I love these. I do them a lot of times slower without weight, just to kind of get my hips moving really good, especially before I squat. But on the Cossack squat, you're in a wider stance. A lot of people call this a lateral lunge as well, but you're just sitting back onto one side and then you're going to move over and squat to the other side. On this, I don't know if you can see, the sun's kind of bright out here, but your heel is on the ground the whole time. So when you're squatting down, that heel right here stays on the ground and then you come right back up. So you're trying to get full depth there, hip crease below the knee. A lot of people struggle with that and can't get down all the way. If you move well in that Cossack squat, you can add weight to it, and with like a dumbbell or a kettlebell. But that's another good way to get some squats in. The last one I'm going to show you is a hip thrust. So I'll show you from this side. So you can use a chair or a bench or whatever you have, and you can put a plate on your hips, barbell, you can use a kettlebell, a dumbbell, whatever you have. I'm going to show you without any weight just to show it to you. On a hip thrust, you want, when you come all the way up, you want your shins to be vertical at the top of that movement. You also don't want to arch your back over that chair or bench. So keeping your core tight, and you're just coming straight up. So you can, like I said, you can hold weight there on your hips. You can hold a plate, whatever it is that you have if you want to weight those. But just squeezing your glutes at the top of those hip thrusts. So those are the 5 movements I have for you for building a better booty without a barbell, is kind of what I'm going to call this. We're going to coin that. But that's all I've got. So if you have questions about those movements or want me to make sure you're doing them right, just shoot me a message and I can help you out. Or if you want to know when a good time to add them in is, or how to add them as far as reps and sets go, just shoot us a message and we'll help you out figure that out. But those are just some different things you can do with a dumbbell, kettlebell, no weight. If you don't have access to a barbell right now and you're not able to do those front squats or the back squats with the strength as part of the classes. So I know I haven't been able to do those, so I've been kind of adding some of this stuff in, and I've really enjoyed the most of it's single leg. I mean, some of it's single leg, I guess I should say. So I've really enjoyed that single leg work. It's really good for, most of it's really good for balance and stuff like that. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them. You can comment or just message one of our gyms or me, and I'll be happy to answer it. You guys have a great Friday. We'll see y'all in a little bit.